Look, I think there is legitimate cause for concern if you're an Eagles fan for a variety of reasons, including Super Bowl hangover, the injuries to Foles and Carson Wentz, your two quarterbacks, etc. But I would have faith if I were Eagles fans because Carson Wentz, Doug Peterson mentioned it last week, and now the reports have come out, is throwing harder and more accurately than he did last year, and his rehab is ahead of schedule. Nick Foles, the backup, is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. They have a variety of running backs who can run in a variety of styles. They have an excellent defense. They have an excellent coach who has rapport with both his quarterbacks. This is a loaded team that is maybe just entering their primes over the next few years. So I would have faith if I was an Eagles fan that the Eagles are going to be strong and that Carson Wentz, because he is so special, makes that team one of the elite teams in football, Stephen A.
Well, hold on. Well, then why the hell did you get on me a few days ago when I went off on Philadelphia Eagles fans for acting like they were in panic mode? You jumped all over me for taking that exact same position. I said you got Carson Wentz. You got a backup as a Super Bowl champion and the Super Bowl MVP. You got a Giant Clement at the running back spot. You re-signed Alshon Jeffrey. Nelson Aguilar has ascended. You acquired Mike Wallace in the offseason. Zach Ertz tailed off a little bit, but we know he's still a stud. Plus, you brought in another tight end, and your offensive line is considered one of the best in the game. I said all of these things the other day. I used that as cause for saying there is no reason to panic whatsoever. You bunch of wusses, Philadelphia Eagles fans. You never won a championship. You were crying for a Super Bowl championship for decades. You finally got it, and instead of sitting there and enjoying it and recognizing how superior you are to most of the league, you're acting like you're in a panic if Carson Wentz isn't ready to go week one. You jumped all over me for saying that, and now you're here saying this?
Well, panic is one thing. I never thought that the Eagles fans should panic, but I always maintained they should be concerned. The reason they should have faith primarily is because you have the player in Carson Wentz that you wouldn't trade for anyone else in the NFL, given his age, the year he just had, his talent, his upside. That's the guy who's the least tradable guy in the entire league. That's the guy who would command the most on the open market, I believe, given everything I just said. So you got that guy. You're going to be all right in the long run. That doesn't mean you panic because of this, but cause for concern? The reason I say have faith is Carson Wentz and the organization continues to make the right decisions. Even when you make the right decisions, that doesn't mean it always comes out right. Recall last year, you said after the Super Bowl, trade Nick Foles if you can get a first-round pick for him. What did I say?
No, that is false. That is false. I did not say if you can get a first-round pick. I said you trade him and you milk him for all he's worth. You might get more than that because he's a Super Bowl MVP at the quarterback spot. I also was on the record talking about, no, I know that your position was what you just said, but you misrepresented mine. I wasn't saying just get a pick. I was saying he's a quarterback. You could get more for him.
You get a haul for him. And what I was saying at the time is it's like when you enter a baseball season and you got 7 starting pitchers. The old expression is you can never have enough starting pitching because you need the depth because you're going to have injuries. Look at the Eagles, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and maybe other than Aaron Rodgers, the best guy in the game, you could argue. And they're both dinged up right now. So it's good that they didn't trade Foles. And yet they still have to be concerned. That doesn't mean panic, Stephen A., but you got to be concerned. And what I'm telling Eagles fans who are rightfully concerned is nevertheless you should have faith because the organization is making the right decisions constantly, and you got the guy at the quarterback position.
Okay, no problem. No problem. There's no reason to panic, and I know, but you're parsing words. You're saying you didn't say panic, but there is reason to be concerned. Fine. My quarterbacks are hurt right now. I mean, listen, if that's the case, the next time one of them breaks a fingernail, maybe you'll use the word concern there too. I mean, what do you want me to say? The bottom line is that you're the reigning defending Super Bowl champions. You're loaded on both sides of the football, and Carson Wentz eventually will be back. Nick Foles got a shoulder injury from last night. I understand how important the quarterback position is, but at the end of the day, what it comes down to is that you're loaded. If you're the Philadelphia Eagles, relax, chill out. There's no reason to panic or concern. The regular season is a little more than 2-3 weeks away. Everything will be fine.
Everything will be fine is a little different than what I'm saying here, Stephen A. You know, it's
It's
not
always
just,
different
hey,
than what you
everything's
said.
going to
All
be
right.
fine. You need to the Eagles fans need to lean on their faith in Carson Wentz and the organization right now. But your backup QB who just won the Super Bowl just
Carson Wentz.
has a
For
shoulder
now,
injury in the
guys,
preseason?
For now, guys, they might have to lean on Nate Sudfeld, their third-string quarterback who had 3 TDs and an
Right.
INT last night. We shall see. But let's